Read.
Which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone.
Wood represents the doctrine of the cross. When I say doctrine of the cross, Christianity. Because the cross they follow is the cross of Tammuz, paganism. Christ is alive. He's not to be represented as a dead man on a cross anymore. He has full power from the throne. That wood people are dealing with is the wood or the cross in your pagan Christian churches. And the stone is in Mecca. Worshiping a jinn or a demon within the cube of Saturn or the cube of Satan in Mecca. Even at the Wailing Wall, they're worshiping a demon, a straight demon. At the Wailing Wall, the Jewish powers. They're heathens. And because we're ignorant to our past, we have fell victim to these gods. And these nations have prospered off of our ignorance. Right? Now you go down to the 64th verse, it reads about the slave ships, right? Go on.
Verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
A second time by the means of what?
With ships.
With ships. The slave ships is written about within the Bible. The Jewish people were so tired of hearing about us talking about these slave ships. Knowing that what? How can they top that? Especially when they were the people, the Rothschilds and others and their forefathers who are Romans, they paid for the ports and ships to trade us. And I never want to hear no garbage about, well, what about the black people that sold black people? Get that out of your mouth too, okay? Because our people weren't controlling the ports. Okay? Our people weren't controlling the ports. These were Jewish bankers who became bankers that control the trades. Okay? But here it is. The Bible says what?
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
And see, and that's why I like to ignore that fact when they say, well, black people sold blacks. You're still ignoring the prophecy. The prophecy is that eventually, no matter who sold who, God's people would be in slavery. They would go into slavery by the means of slave ships. So what we're magnifying this to show that you are lying on God's people. You're telling them they're Hamites when you know they're Israelites according to prophecy. So they like the conversation to be, well, what about the blacks sold blacks? And no, I don't care who did it. Okay? The Most High said it would be done to what people? Okay. What people? See, because a lot of our people are too ignorant to go back and look at the history of why certain tribal leaders had to do it. Because why? The Romans and the British and all that was funding military and weapons on one side while other tribes were fighting with spears. Right? He says, listen, they got the guns. Now, if you want to be able to save your tribe here, we'll give you some artillery, but you have to trade us, not just your good. You can keep all the good ones. Anybody that you feel is a menace to your society, sell them to us and we'll give you guns. So a lot of these tribe leaders did it back then for the sake of survival because the British armed their enemies. You don't bring that out when you say, well, black people sold blacks. Okay? Now, there's more to this because it's not just what we call, quote unquote,